Hello, hello, and welcome back to the A Show with the Kings of Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am Justin, here with Meelz. What's up, Meelz?
I'm good, man. I think one thing I've learned this year, I know this is wow, came out of nowhere. Uh well, one thing I learned, I think at the end of this year, is that low key, after this next job, I might be done working for people.
So what are
I'm
we
just
gonna do?
saying.
What are we gonna
I'm
do?
just I'm just saying, like, low key, been out of work for pretty much the majority of the year.
Mm.
This last quarter though, I've been working, bro. I've been working. I'm back, baby. I ain't got no dental or health insurance, which I could get. I
Oh,
mean, I could just Obamacare.
yeah.
Even though they were like, "Oh, let's get that shit out of here." I don't know if Trump care is gonna pop up or something. Um, but I've been working, so I'm very proud of myself. So I'm like low key. I'm looking at things. I'm like, yo, like I technically need a job, but
No, you need a job. We
no,
get
but
it.
I need the job, but I'm like, I kind of like picking my own hours, not really having to follow any type of schedule, being able to do this, but then also being able to work at the same time and still kind of like be keep that productive side of my brain going. So I don't know. We'll see. But definitely I'm getting a job for sure. But it's just
If they if
out of the
if they
question.
say Meelz, we're gonna give you an alligator and a lion.
An
That's
alligator and a
what.
lion.
Yeah, you'll come back. They're gonna have the button where the walls lift up and do a 360, bro.
I told that to my last job. I was like, if y'all want me back, y'all ain't getting me the same way y'all had me before. Just tell
Damn.
I'm just letting y'all know, just like it's not happening the way it was before. If y'all really want me back, there's gonna be some changes. Trust me. Trust on that. So
Damn.
they ain't
And
take
that
me
and
back.
that's and that's on period.
And that's
Per.
what exactly. You know what I'm saying? Big perk. Yeah. But how
Uh,
have you been, my friend?
I've been good, man. It was a good weekend, good chill weekend.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, I won't, we both know personally I there's a lot going on.
Yes.
There's a lot going on and I'll hopefully be able to tell you guys about it. But I got a question, okay? Because I went grocery shopping, and I think a lot of people really enjoy our food conversations, and I enjoy having food conversations with you
Yeah, why not?
because you're my pal.
Of
So
course.
my wife bought Eggo waffles. All right,
Right, yeah, sure.
what are your views before we go? What are your views?
I'm good on the Eggo waffle. Ain't nothing wrong with an Eggo waffle, bro. Like, I've been having Eggo waffles all of my life. Um, Ain't nothing wrong with the Eggo waffle. If you don't want to invest in a waffle maker, if you don't want to pretty much make anything from scratch,
Mhm.
ain't nothing good with popping in a frozen waffle and seeing what happens. See where it takes you.
Yeah, see where it takes you. I like that. I like that. Okay.
But what flavor? All right, what flavor? Is it just regular?
Well, I'm a buttermilk type of guy. So she got
Eh,
strawberry, right? And I
Ooh,
and but just in general, right? But but again,
is it
like I said
valid?
last week, like I said last week, when we go grocery shopping, there's always a random grab.
Yeah,
There's always a random grab, okay?
of course, yeah.
So I said they don't taste the same to me. And I don't know if anybody listening feels me on this.
No, they definitely don't.
They don't taste how they used to taste back in the day.
No,
They taste
nah, but
more
nothing tastes like it
processed.
fucking used to taste.
Yeah, and I don't want to sound like I'm being like, one of those guys, but it tastes way more processed than it used to taste,
maybe
back
it's
in the
the
day.
maybe it's the marketing, baby. Cause like Lego My Ego was like, come on.
It tasted like I might be wildin'. It tasted somewhat like an actual waffle back in the day.
Yeah,
Somewhat,
no.
somewhat.
They probably use listen, ingredients probably got expensive. People probably got expensive. They freeze drying the hell out of this shit. So they just put in whatever that they just put in whatever makes it the consistency of a waffle at this point.
Right? Like, I'm like, there's it's definitely not
But I
hitting.
don't know if I would try was the strawberry waffle good? Because I don't know
Well
if I'd try the strawberry
well,
waffle, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you.
the flavored ones, you here's the thing about the flavored ones. It's all artificial flavoring. The red shit is just dye. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? That
yeah,
they
yeah,
put
yeah.
in there. It's just
I'm a
flavoring.
big like cinnamon flavored one. Like I think those are the like really really good. But
Yeah.
the fruit flavor ones, I'm like, it don't really taste like it's like IHOP, right? And I know you had the discussion with Mark, and I feel like you were rightfully outraged over
Right. Right.
over. No offense to Mark, I feel definitely rightfully outraged of like my shit tastes better than IHOP.
But that was don't even get me started. All
No,
right.
I know.
Don't get me started.
I haven't gone to IHOP in maybe like definitely before the pandemic, but probably even years before that.
Bro, last time I went to IHOP, I bit into a hockey puck, bro. That pancake was you could fling it, nigga.
And we used to go there all the time. Like it was just like
Yeah.
IHOP, like you know what I'm saying? But once I looked at like so then they opened like a breakfast spot around my that's probably the reason why. And the breakfast spot we use fresh fruits. And I'm slowly starting to realize I'm like, I'm eating whatever canned fucking banana, strawberry bullshit. I'm like, these aren't even real fruits. Like these, like they're the processed, the most processed fruits. I was like, what am I eating at fucking IHOP? So I haven't been to IHOP since. I mean, if someone was like, "Yo, let's pull up to IHOP," I wouldn't be against it. But I'm not gonna say they have like a great. It's like
I'm saying
it's
no. I'm saying no.
edible. Well, all right.
I'm saying no.
You would
It's
find
a
a
no.
proper diner, proper breakfast place. We
It's a no
grown.
for
You know
me.
what I'm saying?
It's a no for me with the IHOP. Like we have
What if it was
so
the only
many.
thing open? You'd be like, "Let's go home."
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, yes, I would say hell no. I'm not doing it. Like there, we have a diner out here called Norms. Excellent eatery. All right,
Okay.
like fantastic. It's called Norms, and the pancakes are great. The waffles are great. I haven't had anything there, and the people who live out in LA or used to live in LA. Like if you listen in, like y'all could probably co-sign it. Norms is legit. Like it's for real. Like their omelets are great. You just can't go anywhere else after that. But
Right.
like I remember when our breakfast food that we got from the grocery store was up to that par. Like remember when the Eggo pancakes dropped and the whole world shifted? Like you
Yeah.
just felt the
I mean,
world shift at that
they
point.
still there, but the world ain't shifted. I'll tell you that right now. The
It
world
did
is
shift. It did shift. I
it
felt it.
shifted then for sure, but
Yeah.
now I don't know. These whatever they are, they just catch,
So
freeze, and burn in your fridge, man.
so
Freezer.
I ate two before we recorded. You gotta get the hard toast on it though. You gotta toast them hard, right?
I'm a
Because the syrup softens it. Toast it hard, syrup softens it.
I
It gets
can't
a
do
little
hard
sogito.
waffles, bro. I don't
Bro,
enjoy it.
for Eggos, not for
I
I
know,
like
but
a soft waffle.
I can't even do it for Egos. Like it can't. It's if it's too hard, I just don't enjoy it.
A tiny you gotta get like the
I
ridges
get
like a little
a little
brown.
crisp, yeah, a little brown, a little brown. You know what I'm saying? But not like um I don't keep them in there for an extended period of time. You know what I'm saying? I
Of course
like
not,
it a
no.
little kind of a little movement with it. I don't like it be all rigid and shit. You know what I'm saying? Nah, not at
And
all.
and really depending on your toaster, that the 3.5 setting might be a 2 low key. You gotta tune your toaster a little bit to so I do like a little 3.5, almost getting to 4, right?
Sure, sure.
Tasted it, you know what I mean? I had a little I'm trying to do breakfast again. I'm trying to like start getting my body right again. So like
I had
I'm doing
breakfast. I had breakfast today. I
doing a
remember
lot
that.
more.
I know those.
Yeah, I'm trying to eat 5 times again.
5
I
times.
was
Yeah, all right, cool. Yeah.
I'm trying to do that again and so I ate this,
This
lots of
podcast go
protein.
fuck that up because we be sitting here for like 3 hours.
I know well, that's why I'm starting to be like I got to eat before, right? So
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
I'm pulling that off and and
Imagine me in the middle of the day. Like I start this podcast. I just had like an early lunch, and then I'm like, "Fuck, it's hungry again."
should I look up it's already time to record. I'm like shit, I got to eat
Well,
something at
yeah,
this
yours
point.
is definitely earlier, so
Yeah.
I
So
think
I ate it and you know what? Wasn't that bad. I had it with like a bunch of other shit. I had some chorizo, I had some eggs. I was like, let me just add this on to like all the protein and shit I'm eating already.
Yeah.
Wasn't bad, man. It wasn't bad. I'll be full for the next 16 hours, but it wasn't bad.
Nah. I mean,
Chorizo is very filling, bro. I mix it in with the
well,
eggs with and cheese, bro.
yeah. No. I'm
Put
the
it on a
rest of the
put it on a
breakfast for
tortilla.
sure.
I'm honorary Mexican, bro. My wife has completely, like, converted me. I
I
just
love that for you.
this is what I do now. I
People
just
have been
put
talking about
everything
Mexicans this week on the internet. I'm not sure what
I
it's
s
about.
I saw it. Well, here's what it's about. 'Cause I
I'm trying
I'm
to
here
figure
to
it out.
I'm here to say, we don't care. No, this is what it's about. So there was this girl, I guess 2 influencers of some rapport who I have no clue who they are. So one on the left and the one on the right, they're wearing basically identical outfits. And this is internet lore, by the way. And I don't even peruse Twitter that much. I just like browse.
This
I
new
look at
internet.
I look at your page. Yeah, I don't look at it like I look at your page and then I leave, right?
All right. I appreciate
So we're gonna talk about your page a little bit later.
that.
Because I feel like you do things to like get me to come back.
Yes, I
And
do.
I don't fall for the bait. I don't
Yes,
I
I
don't
do.
I don't ever fall for the bait. I will
I'm just
never fall for
waiting
the
one
bait.
day. One-
I'm never falling for the bait. So just to let everyone know, I'm not falling for Meelz' bait, and y'all shouldn't either. He's a piece of shit. Um, so I go in there for that, but like, listen, the girl on the right, she the person in particular says that the girl on the right wears the outfit better than the girl on the left because she's not built like a Mexican. And that is meant to be in a very derogatory way
of
in
course.
saying that Mexicans are, I mean, in some way, shape, or form, built like a like a refrigerator in some ways, or built like skinny, but with like a stomach, right? Like they're trying to say like
Hmm.
they're built like, in a certain way. And I think that that's kind of mean. It's not really fair to say that. I think that like here's the thing: built like a Mexican is crazy because in some ways like you're generalizing the looks of a whole demographic, right? And
Yeah.
so a lot of Mexican women went online to post what they look like, you know,
Oh,
and
okay. Hold on.
women, and again,
Let me
women's
grab my
bodies.
phone.
Well, the thing about the thread is that the thread's about 20 or so, or not 20, it's like 6 days or so old or 5 days old. So you know what happens,
Oh.
like you'll get the goon stuff within the first 24. Now it's just people reacting to the thread,
Yeah,
and they're
I
not
put my
putting
phone
anything.
back down. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been out for too long. So you have to find like the chick who's like, you honestly could find a better look on threads of what this shit look like.
Okay.
Not even gonna hold you. The threads look is definitely, you should try that. The threads look, they do it big on there. But yeah, that's that like that whole thing is just, it's just so sad that people had to do that because again, it's not indicative of a whole fucking race, and it's made it really nasty. It's a really nasty argument. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, nah, you know, everybody looks different, bro. Not everybody built. I don't even know what built like I mean, I have an idea, but I don't think all Mexicans are built the same way. I don't know. Whatever. This is
The
stupid.
funniest part is when they like post the shit and like they like, and there's nothing wrong with this, like because I think they, a lot of them look fantastic, but like they'll be like built like a Mexican, and then they're like clearly have had like they get like work done. I'm just like that's fine, but just like that wasn't her point. Even though the point was wrong, that wasn't her point. Like that wasn't her point. You look great though, but like that wasn't her point. I don't know.
This would have
That
been a
was
hashtag. Are we over hashtags as a like society now? I guess.
I I
Like 10
guess
years ago, this would have been a hashtag built like a Mexican, and then I would have been able to click on it and see everything that's going on. But I guess,
we're old internet, bro.
yeah.
We're old internet.
Speaking of old internet, so I listened to the first part of Black Print, but now we got updates on this on the nigga with the blammer.
My nigga
uh,
Luigi.
Luigi. Who names their kid Luigi?
That's
Like
like
post
so. Yeah,
1950.
you almost want to laugh because it's like it's so
I thought it was a fake
stereotypical.
name. I was like, bro, what?
This nigga's name Luigi. You think Luigi's only a fucking name of a pizzeria?
Nigga,
This nigga's
I've
name
lived in New
Luigi.
York forever and I've never encountered a Luigi.
Come on,
I've
man.
encountered like 18 Nicks. My guy Nick, my guy
Tony,
Louis.
Mad
Yeah,
Tonys.
Mad Tony's, met but never Luigi, nah. Huh. Um, but he we learn all types of things about him. This is like I guess this might be how like we learn about like new Gen Z, Gen Alpha people
Well,
like this. Like we
seems
learn
like
all
from
their like random information about like Pokemon and all these other shits that they like. They eat at McDonald's and blah blah blah. And here's
it
their
seemed
Twitter, here's their
uh,
Reddit.
it seemed like, here's my thing, it seemed like he was like a center right tech bro, Elon lover, who
Mhm.
somehow became radicalized, and I feel like that's gonna be the case for a lot of kids in the coming years of this new administration, is that they're gonna see the terrible effects of what happened a month ago, and they're
Right.
going to become radicalized. I think that is gonna be an extremely normal occurrence that will happen very soon.
The entire time this was all going on, I kept just telling the lookout group, I was like, "This is how animes begin, bro. This
Yeah,
is
that
this is
that's
this is how it is."
Yeah, it's the truth though. That is how you become radicalized. That is how these types of things happen, is that there is a sparking like moment from that. And in this case, it seems to be, we don't really know why he did what he did. It seems as though, the more, I know jokes is jokes, but like the more sad part about like what's going on is that it does really seem as though Mr. Luigi had basically disappeared,
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah.
all intents and purposes, and no one was able to really figure out what was going on with him or where he was for the last couple of months. So,
Yeah.
that part to me is sad, but I think that like ultimately, we're making jokes here, but like it's showing that like mental health is very real, and this is something that again this new administration does not believe in. And these are people who need like serious help, but also you guys are fucked up, and you are putting people in these fucked up positions to do shit like this. Like it just it's just sad all around, and I guess as more stuff comes out about it, we'll see. But I mean, Luigi is he's Chris Dorner 2024 to a lot of
Yeah.
people, and we'll wait to see what the actual cause is, the root cause is. But he tried to put out a like the Riddler, nigga tried to put out a YouTube rollout, and YouTube said, "Not, I thought that, nope, we're not doing it." So I wonder if we'll ever see what was to come from that. Like I truly wonder what was gonna happen there.
This is such an anime, man. This I have ideas, I have plot points. Um, what else is going on? I mean, nothing else. I guess we get into wrestling.
It'll be like that. It'll be like that. I think NXT put on a really
No,
solid
I
showing
ain't saying
Saturday.
nothing else. I thought it was, we could have some more banter, but let's talk about wrestling. Let's get
I mean,
into
what
it because
banter do
NXT.
what more banter
Nah,
do you want? You want to talk
I,
about Jay-Z? Is that what you want to do?
I'm save that for y'all.
You want to
I'm
talk
save
about
that.
Hove?
That sounds like a Black Print exclusive. You know what
Or
I'm
do you want
saying?
to talk about, I mean, you want to talk about people who fucking are attaching themselves parasocially to this thing without there being a ending to it yet, and that may blow up in their face? You want to talk about that?
Let's talk. Well, no. Let's talk
All
about
right, we won't.
NXT Deadline.
Don't be a deadline for a lot of niggas. NXT Deadline, really solid show. Last PLE of the year for WWE.
Hmm.
Exceptionally strong year for NXT. New TV deal, new stars. I think front and center here, Mills, is the fact that it seems like Sean was telling the men, "Step your pussy games up," because this is what they doing, and I feel like the women they had them in the palm of their hands on Saturday
I
night.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I only really like one match on this show. Like, and it's not that the show was you know what I'm saying? I watched it, but I don't think anything grabbed my attention like the main event. Like you knew that there were stars in that ring and people who were working and even people who were rising to the occasion like Ren Sinclair. You know what I'm saying? Like you knew that they were like I look at Julia, Stephanie, and Zaria like, okay, NXT in the future. Sol Ruka in that moment, I'm like, all right, she's ready to go. Like low key, just send her up, you
Yeah,
know?
we were she's not ready, but we were,
I think she's ready. I think she's ready.
she can't talk. We
I
were
mean,
we were worried about Soul's positioning for a while, and I think that, putting her out there was great. As far as the pay-per-view goes, I thought that the tag match was stellar. Um, I thought that there were moments in the men's. I think the issue with here's my issue with the men's division, and I've been like an ardent defender of it, and an
yeah.
ardent and there's many reasons why, and I think that a lot of those reasons are valid, and I think people choose. I think I don't want people to have a binary. If they are bad because they don't have the talent of the women. I think there is talent there. I think
Yeah.
the issue is the positioning of it. And my issue with the men's division right now, and it's gonna sound really bad, okay? But I don't want it to sound terrible. I think that at the top, you have a champion in Trick Williams who has all the aura and the carries himself as an immaculate champion. Okay, like that goes without saying.
Mhm.
He is put in positions very often where the guy in the match with him looks better than him all the time,
Mhm.
or they get the most offense, or they look the most damaging, and he is made to win these matches like on a flash finish or they look weak in them. And I think for someone his size, it looks terrible. It makes it look bad. But also, Meals, every single person that he has faced with the championship, without the championship, has
Mhm.
like I believe would have a better match with that title than he would. Like
Oh, of course, yeah.
everyone in that Iron Survivor, like we look at them as like this is just trick fodder, right? Other than like Oba, which like I'm pretty sure they'll probably go back and forth, I'm sure, before Stand and Deliver, right?
Right.
But I look at it like I would rather see these guys as the champion because I know that the level of match would be higher than what we're getting right now, and I think that is where the excitement goes away. Is that like eventually they got to face Trick, run through the buzzsaw, and they're back to like doing nothing again. And I think that's
Yeah.
the issue.
I think one of the things is Trick became just so popular, very, very quickly that he didn't have to necessarily go through all of the mid-card process. Like, don't get me wrong, former North American champion, has been featured on many cards, but I don't think he's gone through the process like, when you think of Tony D'Angelo, right? Tony D'Angelo has been grinding. He's had to work with everyone on the mid-card who has went up and who is still there. And I think overall that has made him a much better worker than when he started, because when we
Yes.
started, we were
Oh
all right,
shit, Meek Mill. All
that
right.
might or the mob or something. Um, but when he started, we were very critical of him. It was like,
Yeah.
can't really go. But
Yeah.
now he's a much better in-ring performer for it. I
Mhm.
think with with Trick, it's definitely he needs more of the work in ring, but also realistically, like, he's over like Rover.
Yeah.
So he's
Like
going to get the it's like the, what do what do they call it when, you're pretty and you kinda get everything that you want? Uh,
Pretty Girl.
like pretty biasness or something along those lines? Like, it's a biasness
Oh,
because he's
pretty
over.
privileged. Pretty
Yeah, pretty
privileged. Yeah.
privilege. I
Yeah.
think with Trick, it's he's over. So it's like
Yeah.
he's got that privilege of, like, I mean, he's not the best worker, but
Yeah, but
look at the crowd, you know?
and I get it. I get the
I get it
dilemma
too,
that
yeah.
I like they're in a real dilemma there in that I feel like he's just like he's ready for TV, right? Like he might
Yes.
not be ready to handle the 20-minute, 30-minute Roman Reigns matches yet. Which like, but I mean, like in a roster that has an LA Knight on it, like I don't think Trick Williams is that like a bad of an option to have
Oh,
there. He'll learn.
he will not be on a PLE. He will be on he's a TV guy for sure.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Like he's ready in that sense, right? I
Yeah,
think that the division needs to open up a little bit, and I think people will start to see why I've been a defender of it because there are people on there that would do well. The only issue is, and we're going to talk about this, this brand is about to get rated hard in the next couple of weeks. So
sure.
a lot of these guys that you might be seeing right now
Do
might
you
go.
think So, I don't know if
Nathan and Axiom are for sure out of there.
they've been pretty conservative with their call-ups from NXT.
For the men, not for the women. Like for the women, they've been like plucking them. They've been like, all right, you're gone. The
Because
women are getting rated for sure.
because
I could see Cora gone. I could see Roxanne gone. If they want to get spicy, I could see Vaquera gone. Like if they really want to get spicy.
I think I think realistically we can see it because we know that they have the skill, but whether they'll actually do it is kind of another thing, because I feel like way more people should have been called up now by now, especially from when you think of 2021 NXT
Like
and how
who?
far away that is. I think um, beyond it all, whether they can really go to that level, I think JC and Gigi, we need to figure out what the fuck we're doing with them. You know what
Gigi
I'm
gonna be there
saying?
for a minute. She gonna be there for a
Yeah,
minute.
I think Cora and Roxanne, Cora and Roxanne could have went up last year. I see why they kept them, but they should have gone up already. I think uh, you know, a couple more people on this roster could have gone up by now. I think, Tony D could go up by now. Andre Chase and Thea Hale and that whole
You
group
which
could have gone up by
but
now.
but we're thinking of the sense of, like, new TV deal, new all this stuff going on, like, obviously, they were in a period where, like, they couldn't really do anything before Netflix. I feel like Netflix is kinda the spark to what's going on, but,
Yeah.
like, looking at Deadline, I see a lot of people on this roster, and we talked about this so many times, that are ready to go, like, ready to go right now, and, like, Trick, I can see him going. I can see him gone. He's already on the, promotion for the show anyway. Like,
I
I can
could
see him
see
out of there.
I could see them, because they still have to do another draft. They're doing this transfer portal shit. Um, so I can just see them being somewhat conservative with the call ups for this season, and then saying, okay, let's do another set after April before May or something along those lines. That's all I'm kind of like saying, because they've been very, very, very conservative with the call ups over the last number of years. Like there, I honestly do think there should have been more by now.
Yeah,
Um,
there should have been more, but I don't think that that's to say that because they were conservative then when they had when the TV deals weren't complete yet, and I like I said they have not really been conservative with the women at all. Like they cleared them girls out, a lot of them last
well,
they
yeah,
cleared out
I
Kiana.
mean,
They cleared out Kiana when she was in a team, like in the middle of a team. Like
right.
they cleared all of them girls out.
But I think they looked at it like Blair and Kiana, we can let them go because they're not going to be a major part of anything.
Lyra,
Lyra, I also think, I mean, Lyra kind of like she had her moment, also could have kind of moved up with them. Probably Becky, made her going like, yo, my girl. Um, but realistically, like people who they're positioning the brand around, I don't think they're gonna move anywhere, even though they have the skill to kind of that's why I say Sol Ruka, because keep it buck. The second half of this year, Sol Ruka just been on TNA.
yeah, I mean, but
She's not really
she's getting a
figured
rest.
into any storyline or anything. She had one great match with what's my girl?
Kalani.
Lonnie.
If she
And
go for Kalani, I think that's an indictment on Kalani.
Clowney need.
I think that's an indictment on Kalani. I don't care what anyone says. I think that's an indictment on her. I'm
I
sorry.
think Sol Ruka's
She
I
got the
think
look.
Sol Ruka.
She got a good
Yeah.
look. She got a
I
good look.
think if you put
Kalani
her
has
on
a good look
Smack
too.
I
Kalani has a
th
good look too. It's the personality that's the issue.
yeah, I think if you put Sol Ruka on SmackDown and try to figure out from there, put her some with Chelsea and Piper, you know how they do. Um,
But in terms of the pay per view, right, or the PLE, whatever.
yeah.
Oba Femi comes back. So the rumor was always that this was going to happen. We were just wondering when it would happen. I think we had all kind of guessed when he lost the title that's what he would be going for.
When Eddie
Um,
Thorpe, I know, or so Eddie Thorpe was removed. I'm interested in why they did it, why Eddie Thorpe was removed, and they just didn't put Oba in at the beginning.
for a
But
surprise because he hasn't been around probably.
I guess
So they take him out, and I'm guessing to have Thorpe and Oba, and then Thorpe, I guess, to turn heel. I would imagine. But again, you got another guy in Thorpe and Obafemi who are like, well, not well more so Obafemi, but like who are genuine like names and faces there. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Where it's like against Trick, it's like Trick's gonna have to do some work, but it's like, eh, like what's this gonna look like? You know what I mean? Like we saw Trick get fucking choked out, get a finisher, and then hit a flash finish to win. You know what I mean? Like that's not gonna work on Oba.
I think hmm, I think Trick is going to retain. I think Trick stays in NXT a little bit longer, just because, like I said, things are positioned around him. Now that they're a traveling brand, they kind of got to sell tickets. You take Trick away, you kind of take away a lot of the ambiance of NXT very, very quickly. You kind of really have to establish kind of a very new face, which they haven't done yet. And I know it feels like Javon is heading in that direction, um, but he's not there yet. So you kind of got to like figure this thing out as you go along.
But
But I'd
Oba
say,
Oba wins Iron Survivor
yeah, yeah. And now he's gonna
and
face him at New Year's Evil.
in LA. They haven't put tickets on sale, but it's the same. It's in LA. It's the same. It's literally
Soon,
like the next day.
night after, yeah,
It's the night after Raw on Netflix. If I had to guess, it's gonna be at the Forum. The Forum
yeah.
is right across the street from Intuit. I don't see them doing crypto. It's just too far. But I think that that'll be the case there. You had Afraxium. I thought they'd lose this tag team match. They didn't. They won. Um,
It's a
Really
great
good
gimmick.
match. It's
Great
a
gimmick.
race, and they get you every time
Yeah,
with
they
this
do.
fucking gimmick. They
They
get
kick
you
him in the
every
face like, "Here we go."
yeah, not
And then there you
again.
go. Yeah,
It's
and
good.
then there you go. They retained. It's actually it puts them both over as like performers in their own right, that they're able to manage to overcome their own like,
Shortcomings.
yeah, communication issues to be able to still win this thing.
Yeah. Then you had Lola Vice, Jada Parker, and what I would say was not my favorite underground match. I'll say that much.
I, I
I
think we
didn't I didn't get the producing of this one.
yeah,
Um,
I think we're good on underground matches. I think they should stop doing them.
Yeah, like I don't get the I am sorely confused at the having
The
Lola.
hardcore match was way better than this shit.
It really was. And I think that like having Lola take so much offense meals was so strange to me because I was like, this should be Lola's kind of match, but it's like NXT does this with like their top stars where it's like flash finish to a win. And it's
Mhm.
like I get that they don't want to do the constant kickouts that they used to do back in the day, but like doing it twice in a show is crazy. You know what I mean? Like having the Flash knockout and then all that stuff happen like twice is crazy. I thought Jada was lost at times doing a match like this. And I was watching a Stevie Richards video, which again, I don't hold much to whatever he says. You know what I'm saying? But he was talking about the
Sure.
Nia Jax thing. And he goes on a tangent and a rant about NXT people who were trained in NXT. He said that like he said the girls are bad. Like the girl, he basically was just like these girls are bad because they don't know how to work on the fly. They don't know how to everything is so choreographed for them. They don't know how to do things on the fly. And it's like I don't agree, but I think in certain instances like this match, I do agree because I feel like this is a
Mm,
match where these women should be able to take it by ear and come up with spots on the fly to make it more exciting when they hear that the crowd is not reacting to anything. Like
right.
other times, like I'm like, well, here's the thing. Like other times we're talking about, oh, it's so choreographed. I'm like, bro, this has been the case for at least mainstream wrestling for a really long time. Like it's just been what it is. But I think that yes, there is a certain sense that these performers sometimes don't know how to call things on the fly, and you see that. And the difference of that is like Steph, Julia, Zaria, and all those girls in the main event to this.
Roxanne, to be honest with you,
And
Roxanne doing
mhm,
her doing 5 pop rocks to Jada, or was it Lola,
Lola,
or
it was
one of
Lola,
them,
it was Lola.
is something that like you call in the ring. You're like, keep going.
Yeah,
We're gonna get them. Like, and that's the stuff you get with experience, but also it comes with working with more experienced people, right? Like you look at
yeah,
Lola and Jada, who the fuck is running this show? You know what I'm
mhm,
saying?
mhm,
And I think it comes with being in the ring with more experienced people and them, being like, listen, try some shit, do some
yeah,
shit. Like,
yeah.
I'm sure it was for Roxanne, who kind of like when she was starting out early, just kind of wanted to fit in the lines. But once you given that kind of autonomy and you kind of work with people a lot more experienced than you, you kind of get that. And I don't think they don't, these two girls haven't, besides Natalia, um, I don't think they've worked with anyone like of true major experience in the ring.
No, I don't think they have either, and again, that goes a lot to it, but it just goes to show just why that wasn't as enjoyable as it should have been. Obviously, we talked about the Trick and Ridge Holland match. I think again, I've said this before. Ridge Holland's the only person in this whole in this whole brand that's getting legitimate heat, like heel heat from anyone. Um, it was never a fucking it was never a doubt that he was gonna lose this. But again, the main event, fantastic. Um,
Oh, that was amazing. It was
really
that
good main
that was
event.
a really good main event.
Sol
Like,
Ruka doing her thing again, being like the biggest kind of not like the biggest loser, but like the but again like her whole thing was just like, damn, like I did everything I could and I got locked out at the final seconds of the match. Like
mhm.
was a really good story. Steph and Julia, they're keeping them apart for a reason, y'all. Like they're not letting them fight in a
I
match where they had to fight, they never touched each other.
I would say the only thing this match was missing was like a true heel.
Yes.
Like a notable heel who kind of can spoil some things. So you don't necessarily have to um, you know, really bring push someone down further to be able to do it. You have a spoiler like an Ethan Page, for an instance, who can kind of get in the ring and mix things up, or Obafemi or something along those lines. Um, so that's what I would say this match was missing, but otherwise it was great. Like these
It was
and
great
Julia versus Roxanne,
in
like
LA. In LA is it's gonna be different. And Steph Vaquer never pinned in the match.
never pinned. Good for her.
Interesting.
Look at her. Look at her. Well,
Interesting decisions.
sidebar. What did you think of? Because I've been in love with it the entire week. Jada Parker's promo on NXT. The cuz baby won
A
this shit back. And I was like, you know what you're saying right now?
little wild, I'll say. I'm
She
pretty sure.
blacked out. I feel like she blacked out.
Yeah, I feel like Sean was like, "Good job, but nigga."
Nah, he had to have fined her. That
Yeah,
this is different. Like I would have fined her because this isn't the first time she's done that shit.
yeah,
Um,
she does it all the time, and I'm like, "Yeah,
she
but she shouldn't be because get your character over, man."
yeah, no, I agree. And I think it makes it listen, a little throw shit in there. It was perfect. It's something that never happens. But then it's like, did we
You
want to
think
use it on Jada? But
you think Sean went back there and pointed at a picture of Dwayne Johnson and said, "Do you look like him? Do you look like him?" No, right? You can't say that. Only he can say that.
I think someone from probably Sean is probably like, I'm cool with it, but I know I'm gonna hear about it tomorrow, so I gotta find you.
Yeah, yeah, like, "Listen, Imma fine you 150, but
Yeah, because
Imma slide it to you in an envelope."
she did it. Jada Parker did it during her match with Roxanne. She was cussing up a fucking
Yeah,
storm.
she was.
And I remember because the next day we got the reports that talent received a notice of like, you can't be cussing out like all that. Please keep the cussing to a minimum. We're still a PG show, blah blah blah. Blah. And you know, I thought that was funny, but I thought that was a great promo, and it kind of like shows. I mean, they're all behind Jada Parker. She's someone who I also think like the in ring has to catch up with everything else. I think she still has a way to go, even personality wise.
Yeah, she
But
does. I wish they would, this might be unpopular opinion, she shouldn't be a top heel right now. There's other heels that are she's not somebody you wanna boo, I think, and
yeah,
I think it was actively hurt it has been actively hurting Lola's face turn, having her against somebody who is also liked, and I'm glad that they're kinda breaking them apart, I hope, at this point.
yeah, because yeah, Lola looks stupid in the as a face. I'll keep it real with you. Like,
She looks stupid as a face because she hasn't faced anyone that, like, they've turned her and then immediately had her next to Kalani Jordan, you know what I mean? Like, she should just be a badass face, not, like, whatever the hell she's been doing. I think she works as a face, people do like her, she does get reactions. I think they're putting her next to somebody that like, I don't know why they didn't just go with them being, like, an unlikely tag team. I think that would've been better for the world at that
I
point, like,
agree. I agree.
like, them as a tag team works for me. It's like Taz and Sabu. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like the tag partners that hate each other, but they're baby faces. Like, it works. Like, I don't know why they broke that apart so early, but
listen, hey, I,
tho
I think that's a great idea.
those are our thoughts on NXT Deadline. Going down the list here, um, Jesse Ventura is returning,
Mm.
to, to WWE as a commentator this weekend on Saturday Night's Main Event. Should we go through that card really quick, or do you want to do that on Patreon?
I feel like we got to talk about Raw and SmackDown, which will then lend to Saturday night's main event.
True.
So I feel like we should leave it for Patreon, but also sign up for the Patreon.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm gonna say. But it's definitely there. We're looking forward to it. If anyone is kind of like wondering our overarching thoughts on it, like I think it's going to be a great card. I think they've done a lot of great stuff on television, especially last night with adding a few things to the card to make it much more premium.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I think it's a if anything that we can pluck out a Patreon on here. Let's talk about how the Miz carried 4K to a victory. Come on, come on now.
I'm not reacting to you anymore.
Come on,
uh,
man. Kawhi Leonard on the Toronto Raptors. That's what Miz was.
Fucking wish, nigga.
People,
You
people,
fucking
were-
wish, nigga. You
people, who,
wish. You fucking wish he was
people,
that.
who,
He got
people
he
who
got the
never won
powder. He
before.
got the powder thrown in his face. He didn't pin fucking Bo Dallas.
I mean, that was
He got the powder to his face. And
that shit
mind you,
was anthrax, nigga.
not the first time white powder has been in Miz's face. Let's just be clear. 4K, we clean over here. You know what I'm saying? We don't do anything ungodly like that. But listen,
Niggas
the
had to get the old man
4K
back
the
to throw
4 is K.
anthrax
The
in
4
this
is
nigga's
K. That's
face.
all right. Anthrax is crazy. Anthrax actually kills people. All right. So you're being you should be canceled for that, sir. So here's the thing. 4K. Let's just think about this in a whole as a whole,
Let's
okay?
talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Before you start doing this bullshit that you're trying to
Okay.
do to get me
Okay.
to react, okay? 4K push the Wise to a 4-star match. That's just straight up. And the thing about 4K, we don't go higher than a 4. Ain't no 5 stars. We only do 4, baby. So at the end of the day, it's 4. We don't do fives.
We don't go hard.
4. We don't do fives, all right? It's a 4 star is perfect. So we took him
Fair.
to a 4-star match. That's all we do is have 4-star matches. The 4 is K, number 1. Number 2, we whoop their asses for about 15 minutes on live television. Miz, he's the human meat shield. He's the nigga in Call of Duty and Warzone when they grab you. You ever seen the TikToks where they grab a nigga in Warzone and they dance to R. Kelly, Step in the Name of Love? That's who Miz is. He's a nigga we just holding up. We just holding Miz up. Let him take the shots so that we could get the dub. So yeah, if it's less like Kawhi Leonard or more like Patrick Beverly because you just take the charges, nigga. Lay
Get the
down.
fuck out of
Let let
here.
Karrion take the pin. Let Karrion get the
Them
pin,
niggas could
and
never
we
win
go
on their own. Who's carrying gonna
get the
team
fuck.
up with? That was a
We was dubbing
notable
niggas before that. We was dubbing the New Day
Akam and
before that.
Razor. Mrs. B, Akam and Razor practically by his damn
Y'all
self.
cheated. Y'all cheated. What? Hey,
With
Miz.
our
Who
truth,
Miz vote for? Who Miz vote for though, nigga? Yeah. All right, anyway.
I think he's a third party.
Yeah, yeah. Third party mean what? Who they go towards? Anyway,
Well, who the white Puerto Rican voted for?
well, we not political over here. We the 4 is K, nigga, and that K is for keep it to yourself. Anyway,
There's one too many damn Ks. I'll tell you that.
listen, hey, we had to add one more now because we don't want niggas to think. You feel me? But listen, man, we got the dub. 4K wins again. The funniest part about this was Rowan yelling, "Get up some water!" I'm like, aren't y'all spooky, nigga?
Yeah. When he melt or something? I don't know what the fuck.
Get up some water. It's good to see. Like we talked about the Wyatts for a different segment that's coming up, and we were like, they are firmly mid card, and I was like, this is a firmly mid card loss that
Like
demystifies them.
because I totally forgot about like the 8 weeks of backstage gimmicks, videotapes, and all types of other shit. I was like, God damn, they
Listen,
don't
at
make
least
my
y'all niggas
card.
is on T. At least y'all niggas is on TV.
At least
They
stay on
should
TV.
they should put them in NXT. Let
You
them
know
rock
what?
NXT.
You know
That'd be
what?
hard. That'd be
I
hard
think that would be tough.
because they could do so much more tricks in NXT than they
Yeah.
can like in a big ass arena. You know, like imagine you sitting in the PC and Nikki Cross sitting right next to you. You know what I'm saying? Like that'd be crazy.
Man, Ashante to Adonis pull up to Nikki Cross. Is that what you trying to say?
I'm not trying to hear about this nigga Shante Adonis. Listen, man. Speaking of other things that people don't want to hear, and that by people I mean Tony Khan, Rey Fenix. He got on Twitter this weekend.
How
Meals.
come every time AEW has something great going for them, something badass to happen, their announcement of their stadium show and all this other stuff is ruined now and blah blah blah.
There was 42 people at that press event. They couldn't pay somebody to show up. The
Nigga,
Costco guys was like, "Damn, nigga, we get more people to come out to our shit than
they
this."
should have had that in the Whole Foods or something. At least people would have been there. Like, you know,
What the fuck was that? But listen,
couldn't have
Ray
got the
Phoenix
staff or nothing. Just to
Ray Phoenix gets on Twitter, and of course, the whole issue or the whole deal right now is that Pentagon Junior
he
has
free.
or Penta Zero rumored to be gone from AEW as of last weekend, and Fightful reported that. But Phoenix is still there. He gets on
Let
there
me look on
on
the
Twitter.
roster. Let me look on the roster. We
Okay, go
can
ahead.
we can we can we can confirm this pretty quickly if he's still there. Because they update their roster based on however Fightful update their roster. So, so let's see. Is Penta there? Penta not there.
Yep.
But Ray
Penta's not
Phoenix
there.
sure the fuck is.
Yeah, niggas is gone. Niggas is out of there. So Phoenix gets on there a couple days ago. Says no one stays in a place where they received inhumane treatment, and you
Mm.
saw all types of people talking about, well, you should have told Conan to shut up, or you need to shut up because you're getting paid. Shut up. I can't believe you would betray Tony like this. Shut up. Is this like just straight derangement? And before we even talk about Ray Phoenix's issues, like, is this just straight like derangement and insanity from these people?
Have you seen my mentions?
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. 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 You're
Have you
right.
seen my mentions from what I posted on Saturday? A very innocuous comment about one of the
But that's
segments they
what
had on their show.
that's literally like me watching that Osprey and whoever the fuck match. I think it was might have been Phoenix, honestly. But that was just like me watching that match, being like, y'all really like this shit, and then being called a racist immediately.
Damn,
Wait, what?
can't believe you know what I'm saying? Like, hold on, did they deleted the tweet?
What
Oh wait,
tweet?
no, they didn't.
Ray
I just
didn't. I'm
muted
looking
it.
at it right now. I'm looking at it right now.
All right. No, no. I was about to say, I thought they deleted the video of nigga getting Baja Blast poured in his mouth.
When he got
Yeah,
uh
yeah, yeah.
Clorox blue put in his
We'll talk
mouth.
about that later. We'll talk about that later. Ray Phoenix.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Then
if
he
people aren't
but
happy.
no, a day later, he says, "I needed a doctor and you ignored me for months." So, I mean, I guess CM Punk is sitting back laughing at that one too.
But
Um,
the AEW does thing. I'll say this. I'm not really in defense of AEW, but I know they do something differently of like you have to find your own doctor. Um, we do not have a doctor that is preferred under WWE's umbrella like they do in WWE. They send you right to Birmingham, say go get that shit checked out, and you're following our thing. You have to go. You have to find a doctor. You have to pay for it. You have to use whatever insurance that you have, and then apparently they have to put it in this app and get reimbursed months later or however long later that they reimburse for all the surgery and stuff. Um, so I was confused about that, but
but
I'll wait for the details.
I think the main thing with this here is the ghosting that we've all heard about that they do of talent. And
Yes.
Phoenix, I'm guessing, has felt ghosted, or there's been an issue where he has been ghosted by Tony, and now he's speaking out about it online. People, like you said, are not happy. But is this
That's what
a
Ryan
sign?
Nemeth too. Yeah, Ryan
Yeah,
Nemeth talked about it too.
Ryan Nemeth thing has popped up too, with AEW basically like being like, "Nigga, you're a nobody. Like, we're not doing anything.
Nigga, what? All right. I don't even
Like,
know
fuck
who
out of
agreed
here."
to that to you. I don't even know who you were talking to when you were talking to that.
He said, "So he told you
Um,
to leave? Hold on, let me go talk to him right now." And he never heard back.
3 years pay. I ain't agree to that shit.
So, what are your overall thoughts right now of, I mean, there's supposedly Ray Phoenix has responded to somebody who basically debunked the fact that the people were saying that he had gotten kind of put on ice because he was going to WWE and all this other stuff happening. Ray Phoenix like tweeted that person saying, that's true, that's not the reason. The real reason is something worse or something like that that's going to come out. Like, what do you think that could be?
I think if you're gonna do all that, you might as well just say it. But because I ain't with the he say she say. From what we
Yeah.
know, um, the they were originally expected. From how these reports came out. Let's talk about how these reports came out. It was reported. that the Lucha Brothers contracts were coming up. And it was also reported that Rey Fenix's contract, due to him not being as injured, was going to come up before. Sorry, Penta's contract was coming up before Rey Fenix's. But according to Wrestle Purists, they essentially were like, "Oh, Tony just thinks the world of this guy, and he's such a professional, and he does his job, and he comes in, and he doesn't do all this. So there's no way that he's going to extend his contract." And then it was rumored that niggas was supposed to win the tag team titles.
Yeah, last summer
Yeah.
before and I think there's a lot of truth to that when you look at not only NXT and the way the Motor City Machine Guns debuted, but
Mhm.
also the Acclaimed were literally just thrown into the tag team picture out of nowhere over the summer for AEW, and, like, there was very much, like, no direction as to what was going on there.
Yeah. So there's so much different things, but once the rumors started kind of coming out of like, okay, they're in contact with WWE, they're thinking with WWE, suddenly there was injury time to be added. Um, Again, I'm always kind of like, um, I'm always the one question I have is, does this time get added if you resign or if you sign a new contract? Does Daniel Garcia's contract kicked in months later, or is a new contract kicking now? Because he's someone who's been injured in the past and has come back. We know the Ricky Stark situation. He's had time added because of his injury. He had a major neck injury. He had a couple other injuries throughout his entire career that kind of like is extending this kind of run.
Mhm.
Um, but I'm just interested, like, would the time have been added if he wasn't going to resign? Um, and with Ray Phoenix, I think people have right to be mad, but then also it's like, I mean, you still getting paid, which is definitely an argument.
Yeah.
And he's
But
still
that don't matter though.
this is I yeah I but I understand the thing with contracts, right? Like, we paid for your stuff. I mean, unless it's specified, we paid for your surgery or whatever it is. You were covered on our dime. We still paid you then. I don't know if it's like due to a clause in the contract, we're able to extend you because of the injury time, which is kind of crazy. This is why they kind of low key need a players union because this could not happen in NBA. This would not have happened in any other sport.
But that'll never happen in wrestling, bro. No one will ever get behind that.
Yeah, no, not at all. Like the idea of independent contractors to me is such a wild term in pro wrestling. Um, But at the end of the day, he feels entitled at least to continue to get a contract's worth of time out of you. But my beef is if you're not going to use them, what is the point? Like, if you're not going to put him on TV, if you're not going to put Ricky on TV, if you're not going to put Ray Phoenix on TV, what is the point of keeping them? You're keeping them there so they don't go to WWE. But realistically, they're going to go to WWE anyway.
Yeah,
Like,
like and the thing is like you run the risk, right, of getting them even better creative when they go.
you
Because,
or
like
becoming more popular, right? Like, so the internet narrative now begins to take off. Suddenly AEW is looking like the bad guy, which they are definitely looking like right now. And when they eventually are able to be freed from their contract, they're gonna go to WWE, have fire creative, fire entrance theme, fire video package, fire everything. And it's just gonna look like, "Oh, yes, I'm so glad for the opportunity to be able to wrestle again. I was kind of locked up in this contract." We've seen contract shit with, like, music and stuff like that. Like, remember how Lil Wayne's contract was kind of like that nigga couldn't get out of Young Money, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
JoJo, Blackground Records, like, imagine you sign when you 14 and you can't get out until you damn near 30. Like, eh, to me, it doesn't make sense you're able to do that. I feel like there should be an option to either pay it out.
Yeah. No,
Um,
what? No, no, just let them go. Like, I
or
don't
well,
like people
well,
in
true. They're independent contractors, I guess. Yeah.
exactly, people in the E don't get to pay their way out. Like, it's just not they're not able to do that.
Well, I would say like if you have like a certain amount of time on your contract, you should be able to, like, if I want to get this done early, get me out of here. Um, it should at least be an option. I'm not saying you have to do it,
Yeah.
but I feel like it should at least be an option because but they shouldn't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like realistically, let them go. You have look at the people on your roster. Good lord, man. Like why?
It's sad, and I think that, we're this is what, our second week talking about it. We had Ricky last week, we have Phoenix this week. I wouldn't be surprised if Miro comes out the next week, or Malachi
Mhm.
Black, or anybody else that hasn't been used. Fucking Komoroto and fucking Solo, all of these people. And, it's hard not to think that this isn't the reason why he's doing this. You know what I mean? Like, it's very hard not to have an argument for that. No matter what the sheets are telling us, it does seem vindictive in the same way that it felt vindictive when WWE was doing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I think that no one should be doing anything like this. They should let them go. Um,
But the
and
thing
I
with WWE is they'd use you. Like
Oh, yeah.
that's the difference though. Like Mustafa Ali asked out for his contract and they were like, "No."
Just say, "Alright, get back on TV then, nigga."
Yeah, and get back on TV, do some jobs or have a program. You never know what could happen, you know, whatever could come out of it. And you can essentially work yourself back into being a valuable commodity. Um, unless you're absolutely going to leave, then we will definitely kick you on the way out. But
Oh, they absolutely well, they kicked his ass to NXT, then they kicked his ass out when he's about to win the title. So, like, you can't say it's always good when they do that either. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I think they wasted his time too, to a certain extent. I mean, looking at the landscape of AEW,
I don't know if
there's
you
so
wasted.
much. Who?
I don't know if you waste your time if you're still on television. That adds value to you no matter
No,
what.
I mean they wasted his time by, like, doing all of that build for him in NXT just for him
Oh,
to
yeah.
just to fire him
Yeah.
anyway the next round. Like, they could have just let him go before that, but they do things differently there now too. So ultimately, like, it all depends on, I guess, how they're pulling up and showing out for this shit. Like, it is definitely a sense of, what is this company going to do right now? And I feel like we have this come to Jesus moment with AEW every single week now. Now their shows are hitting 500 solid, 500K solid.
Mhm.
Right after you sign this new deal, 550 million. Rampage is doing what, 100K? That This was the Rampage that had the real Okada, everybody. The real Okada returned last week.
Had
He was on
everybody on.
Rampage.
To me, I don't know. There's better ways to utilize and run a business, but because I guess they got their new deal, they're like, we're running it just fine. Um,
They're not fine. Like
no, they're not. They have
that
39
already
women on their roster. This is nuts. I'm just looking at their roster now. They have 39 women.
39 women, and that's on one brand. And I think you gotta that's one thing to have a designation for. That's 39 women on one brand, and there's only like a couple that they show. Where is Chris Statlander? Had one of the best matches in the women's division they've ever had, according to a lot of these people. Where's she at?
Uh, I don't know if she's injured. Someone, a Stan in my mentions told me that she was injured. Like she got injured during the match.
They can at
But
least pop
I can't
in.
say. I can't confirm nor deny.
They can at least pop in. Like, it makes no sense. It makes literally no sense to me. It makes no sense how they have structured even Mercedes Moné. You see that she said that the Chris match was like one of the best matches that she's ever had.
Yo, the amount of cap that she like, I don't know how you can ever relate to her or thing because none of it seems genuine. Like there are certain moments where things seem genuine, like when she's on her live and stuff like that. But I don't know how you can connect to her as a performer or a person with this like just just outwardly like lying. Just like just to look cool. I don't know. She got her money, so it is what it is.
Yeah. Uh, anything else that has happened this week?
Um,
You got me mad about the 4K shit, but anything else?
well, I think something else did happen. Hold on. No, I was
Where's
gonna talk about
Soraya
the
at? What happened to Soraya?
she apparently taken a break to I think she's doing some television stuff now, but the weird thing is she signed a one-year deal, so I'm like, "Bruh, are you gonna take
It's
a
coming
break on
up.
a"
It's coming up in, like, March then.
Nah, it's coming up in, like, August, September-y. She signed right before, All In, um, because that was kinda like the big thing of, like, will she resign? And but now she's on a break, and she's like, "Yeah, I need just need a break from the business." Da da da. And I'm just like, bro, why you resign? Why? Miro, why? Soraya, why? Uh, Probably because they're gonna get more money here than they would get there for sure.
Oh, yeah, they're not letting her come back to WWE.
I think they'd let her come back to WWE. They just not
But
gonna
no,
pay
they
her. The
she got a fucking well, I mean, she's not getting paid talent rate, bro. She's gonna get paid to be a host or some shit. Like she wanna wrestle, bro. And they got certain money for people who don't wrestle, and they got certain money for people who do. And I feel like she wanna make the money for people who wrestle without wrestling. That's not happening.
I feel like I feel like if she comes back to WWE, she would wrestle, but it
She
just
wouldn't.
the return wouldn't be the same as whatever it was a
She
decade ago.
she gonna be wrestling a track and field athlete in
Yeah,
Orlando.
that's what I'm saying, essentially,
Like
is
that.
it has passed her by in more than a million ways. There's no way that a Saraya versus Becky Lynch match, I'm excited about that. So, um, we'll see. We'll see. Let's see. What else happened this week? Um, Not much. I mean, all in Texas.
What main events that
Collision.
show? I did wanna ask you that. What main events that show?
Fuck if I know. When
Like
is it? Let me see. Uh, it is when it is all in Texas. They just be posting stuff on their website with no fucking date on it, bro. Like, come on. They just I know this is Squarespace. I've seen Squarespace before, bro. I know their website is Squarespace. It's Saturday, July 12th. Um, Brian won't be back. Um, I don't think Mox will be champion that long.
I do.
I don't think Mox goes through July. Like it's already coming off the wheels at this point. Um,
It's gotta be Brian back. It's gotta be Brian back. You know, I know it sounds
he
crazy, but
said he'd
it's
be there, but he said he wasn't gonna wrestle on it. That's what he said. He said he'd be there.
he's a liar. He's a liar. He looks terrible, by the way.
I think you go. Yeah,
He
no,
actually looks like worse, but I think it's probably because he's, like, injured and he can't work out.
yeah, he's probably. I would say probably Osprey, Kenny,
Osprey?
Osprey,
Os
Kenny.
Osprey would be lucky he's not losing to Bobby Lashley come
I don't think they're
July.
gonna sell this show out. So I don't even know. This might not happen where it says it's gonna happen. I don't think this show is gonna get sold out. I don't think there's anybody between WrestleMania, which I think is about 2 months prior, SummerSlam, which is a couple weeks after,
Yeah,
Money in the Bank, which is if they decide let's have Money in the Bank and fucking
Texas,
it.
and
Yeah. Let's have Money in the Bank in Houston, baby.
oh my
Let's
god,
take it.
what if they do Money in the Bank at AT&T?
They could never. Nah, they wouldn't do that.
But Meals.
They couldn't do. I'm assuming they got this building tied up where you can't. No other wrestling thing would be able to book it 90
Meals,
days before, 90 days
but
after.
AEW's not in AT&T.
They're a global field, right?
Yeah, they're not
Global Life.
AT&T. Yeah, they're not AT&T.
I mean, I don't know if they do it after two big stadium show. I don't know if they could do a third domestic stadium show.
Money in the Bank is their big 5, it's part of their big 5. But the thing is, it wouldn't happen because WWE usually does they usually tour the, overseas in the summertime, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I don't know what would happen there, but there's too many things that go on. This main program that they got going on isn't working. I think they have a number of months to pivot, which they absolutely should. Uh,
for what?
because the creative for this shit is terrible, bro. This shit is gonna nothing is saving this company. Like, nothing. Like, they're throwing everything at it, and I think MJF was just like, "It's not my fault." Like, "I ain't do this." Like, cause he's just, like, he's just doing movie stars, he's doing all this other shit like that, and I'm sure he doesn't really care, but there's nothing saving this. To me, if they wanted to have something good for this show, they need and I low-key feel like Kevin is already re-signed.
Yeah.
I would be going after Kevin Owens bad, bad, like bad.
Eh,
They need like a Kevin
he's
Owens
not
where
enough though. He's
he's
not
not
enough.
enough, but
Yeah.
I think he would be a star where you'd be like, "Oh, he's coming to well, no, fuck it,
It,
because everyone
it
does that."
yeah, no, at this rate, there is nothing. They have nothing that could save them. I hate to say it, but they got nothing. They're clipped. They're clipped, Mills. It's over.
Well,
Not over in the sense of like they will never be successful again, but it's over in the sense of like I think
they won't be
it's
successful to the metric that,
yeah, that they were.
yeah.
It's becoming a distant 2, and that's what I will say. It is slowly becoming a distant number 2.
It is going to become a place where it's going to become TNA at some point. It's like
And it's not
we're
there
speeding
already.
up the process. No, but I think they're speeding up the process very, very quickly of, like, TNA didn't become what it essentially became for, like, 15 years
Yeah.
because it was still a free agent destination, it was still number 2 until AEW showed up. They are getting there very, very quickly.
Yeah,
They're gonna be downsizing crazy.
Mox is their Jeff Jarrett.
Bruh, they have Matt Cardona fighting for the ROH championship.
You could legitimately revive the indies, with the amount of AEW, like, releases they could do. You will revive them. They'd be back.
They would.
The indies will be back if
Well,
everyone in AEW.
now they probably shook that WWE ID. They gonna ID them niggas.
Nah, I ain't getting ID, nigga. You ain't getting ID, nigga. Go sit your ass in catering. Hang out with fucking Ricky, bruh. You ain't getting ID, nigga.
Oh my god. Alright, let's go to Patreon.
All right, y'all. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week. I think like for the next couple weeks, our next few shows are gonna be free, all free on Patreon. So
Yeah, plus
it'll
you
be
got the next week we have the year-end list starting. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube because we have all those videos. Essentially, we've been spending the last number of weeks setting it up, recording, kind of talking all about it. We'll have great social content as well. Um, and yeah, it's just gonna be a good time for the rest of the year. We're gonna be recapping 2024 and what it was in wrestling.
yes, sir. So for Meals, I'm Justin. Thank you guys for listening to the A Show. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.